Welcome back, everyone. Today I'm going to be running some errands. First, I have to run the DMV, get my new tags for my STI. I have to get the Porsche titled, and then I have to get the new oil filter and air intake. I think that's pretty much it for the Porsche, and then we'll start working on bodywork stuff. Other than that, let's get started. Just a friendly reminder, don't forget to wear your mask today. I don't know how people see shit in this thing. So last night I went ahead and pulled the plug, let the oil drain overnight just to try and get all of it out. It was super black and gross. Didn't have any discoloration, so I don't think there's any, doesn't seem to be any sign of like a blown head gasket or anything. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab the filter that I just got, throw that on. The intake should be in later. Other than that, I think the car is pretty much ready. I'm going to go ahead and lower it after I do the oil change and buff it. I think that's what I'll probably do. Buff it and then steam the carpets and let them dry today. We're getting pretty close, so I'm excited to see how much money this flip is going to go for. Looking at Copart prices, so this did have kind of body issues, but it's a clean title. It's a clean title. Most of them are going from anywhere between $5,500 to $7,500 for the Porsche Boxster, not the S model, the Cabriolet. With that said, I've seen a lot of Copart Boxsters, the same Cabriolet non-S model with the bigger motor, going for like over $2,000, anywhere from 2 to 3, which I don't understand because there's not a huge profit margin with if you're having to do body work on top of having a salvage title. I can't see selling a salvage title one of these for more than 45 to 5, unless your area is just completely different, which might be the case. I still think, I mean, with wrapping the car and making it look really good, we're gonna have a much larger profit margin, and that's kind of what I'm getting at, is having that skill to vinyl wrap definitely helps a lot when it comes to like terrible paint like this. I mean, this is just all really bad. So to hopefully maximize your profit, but here's the same thing, if I would have gotten this car in as an appointment, I would have been charging him at least about $2,000, and I don't think I'm gonna get $2,000 in, I know I'm not going to get $2,000 in a profit for it being wrapped. So just keep that in mind. It's more of a, I'm trying to get the maximum amount of potential for this car, as I don't have a dealership license, so I can only do this, I think, something like 4 to 5 times a year. And I kind of wait on cars like this. If you're trying to do more at a time, you're definitely going to need a dealership license. It allows you to also bid on more states. I have a business license on Copart. But with that all being said, Copart used to be a really good deal. It's not so much anymore. I see less and less deals going on. Unfortunately, I bought like a WRX. Looked like it was just the crash beam, but the motor was completely totaled. I still made profit on it, not very much at all for how much hassle I had to deal with it. To me, finding these, it's kind of connections. So you find, like, my father-in-law is the one that tipped me off to this car all the way down in Arkansas. So kind of once you get known as a guy that buys and fixes up cars and resells them, it tends to kind of begin a snowball effect where more and more people are going to want to sell you cars for whatever reason. Oh, I saw this car for sale over here. Oh, my car had a small fire, and that's actually the next car I'm looking at is a F350 that had a small 30-second fire in the engine bay. So it's just getting known, I guess. But then also you have to have some kind of mechanical skills to do basic stuff. And I've definitely had troubles with this car so far. It hasn't been super easy, but it's been fairly easy. About less than a week's worth. More of the time I'm spending waiting on parts than anything. If you were trying to do this for a profession, you would need at least about 2 cars a week to make what I think is a good sum of money. At least, like, that's the bare minimum. Anyways, let's get this stuff done. I'm tired of talking, and hopefully get to buffing, see how good we can get this paint, and hopefully eventually wrap it. All right, guys. Change is done. I'm going to go ahead and start on some body work. What I'm going to do first is I'm just going to pick a panel. I'm going to do this fender right here. So it's got a high amount of damage coming up around here as far as the clear coat goes, but it's pretty clean down here, mostly because it was sitting under a tree. I'm going to go ahead and buff it with a medium buffer and a cut and see how good I can get the paint. I have quite a few really strong spots that I don't think are going to come out. It's going to get wrapped anyway, but I want to see if I can salvage at least most of this paint. So what I was thinking actually was possibly just doing something, if I can clean this paint up, is do a wrap just on here and the bad spots, so the hood, trunk, and cover, which would save me even more money. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot because vinyl likes to stick to smooth surfaces. So I'm gonna set you guys up on a tripod, and first I'm going to just wipe it down. I pressure washed it a long time ago. It needs to be wiped down again with some alcohol. Then I'm going to clay bar, and from there I'm going to go ahead and give it a good cut and see what I can get out and what stays in. All right, guys. Went ahead and, as you saw, I buffed only about a third. I broke this up into thirds on this fender, kind of the worst spot of the best panel. It's definitely not salvageable. So it actually looks really good in this camera, but it's not. So there's still all kinds of that, which is from the tree sap. You can see the tree sap pretty much ate through the clear coat in a bunch of spots here. And there's really it's not that good a paint. I think the cameras, from what I'm seeing through the camera, it's making it look better than it really is, and it's really not that good. Like, there's a spot here that's kind of bad. There's light scratch or heavy scratches all the way through it. It's definitely not going to be salvaged. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and stop buffing. I'm going to focus more on getting these headlights finished back up, because it's not worth my time buffing the whole car since I'm for sure going to wrap it now. Hopefully that just adds value to some, the car. People want it more. It's a different color. It's a different finish than what they're used to. Like I mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of this color. Anyways, gonna go ahead, and these headlights are pretty bad. I'm gonna go tape it up. I'm gonna start with a 400 grit sandpaper because it's really rough. I'm gonna work my way up to 2000 and see if we can make these at least look good. The tail lights look great. There's the headlights. They're in really rough shape. Taillights are nice though. Taillights are pretty much. So that's one thing I don't have to worry about. Anyways, I'm gonna set you up on the tripod. I'm gonna get to hopefully making these look really nice. It might be on the inside of the lens. We'll see. But yeah, that's it. All right.
Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it, and I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding. 'Cause you got me holding. And I'll be running, possessed by a low, low voodoo, fired up like a wolf on a full moon, and we're stuck in a la la land. The tides will turn without us, and I'll be killing time like I might be a cartoon. Take it in real life like haiku. I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey, and I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it, and I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding.
All right, the headlight is done. Check this out. It's still, like I said, a little hazy, but it's from the inside. It's so close to being perfect that I think I'm just gonna keep it how it is. Look at that. That, from that to that. That's night and day. And so that third, so I did 2 cuts on medium, and I went ahead and did a polish on a soft pad just to kind of brighten it up a little bit and make it a little bit glossier. It does still have a little bit of haze on the inside. I'm not too worried about it. It's not bad enough to where I'm gonna tint the headlights. Super happy with them. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this other headlight. It's the same exact process, so I'm not gonna bore you with that in the video. Next up, I'm going to be prepping this car for being wrapped or the soft top, whichever one comes in first. That's pretty much it for today on the Porsche. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.